Welcome to Thoughts Roundup. Well, it's been a big day. We've had two good services, and we have as a guest Brother Reverend Guillotte. Good to have you.
Yes, sir.
So glad. I wanted you to be on the program last time I was with you, and I think you backed out or something.
Well, we got busy. It was beautiful weather.
Yeah.
The golf course was calling.
Oh, surely.
Yeah, that might have been what it is.
Well, that's right. Well, we can let that would be a good excuse right there. Brother Guillotte is pastor of what's the name of the church?
First Pentecostal Church of Orange Grove.
Of Orange Grove. Now tell me that's real close, right at two other little towns or two other towns?
We're in the city of Gulfport, Mississippi.
Gulfport, Mississippi.
Yes.
Well, why do they call it Orange Grove?
Well, at one time, this area was a little bit out of town, and it was the Orange Grove community.
But they took it in.
But they took it in, and now it's all Gulfport.
Well, now it's more advantageous to have what town?
Gulfport.
Gulfport.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
It is.
It's got a bigger sound to it.
It does. There's a church in town, downtown Gulfport, and at one time they were First Pentecostal Church of Gulfport.
I see.
And so when the elder came here to the Orange Grove community, he went with the Orange Grove name.
I see.
Not to overstep the guys there in town.
Sure. Just as a courtesy.
Correct.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've had good church today.
We did.
We had church today, and tonight we had a healing service.
We did.
You don't hear that very much.
No, we try to have them here as often as we can.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, the presence of the Lord was just real strong, and you know, we didn't go half of the night to do it.
No. When Jesus steps in, he don't need all night.
Don't need all night. Just take care of it. Where are you originally from?
I'm from a little town called Franklin, Louisiana.
Oh, Franklin. That's where they grow the sugar cane.
Grow the sugar cane. That is correct. Right in the heart of Cajun country.
You know, I preached a revival in Franklin. Joan and I, probably 50-something years ago. And we was right in the middle of a sugar cane patch or something down in there.
It's full of them.
That's Cajun country.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So that's our background. You probably can't tell by my accent.
Can't tell it?
Probably can't tell it by the way I talk.
Well, let me, do you speak French also?
I don't. You know, back when French was the more prominent language there, the children, they wanted them to switch to English.
Yeah, and I always hated that.
Yeah.
It seems as though it would have given them it was just a natural then for them to speak French. We call it Cajun. And it seemed like it'd been so nice from being bilingual, you know.
That is correct. And it's not too far back. Actually, my mom's parents spoke French, but they didn't pass it to their children. So we're only a couple of generations removed from it.
You see, whenever I was like 15 to 20, you went down into what we would say we're going to the French country.
Yeah.
And after, like along about Ville Platte.
Right.
Actually, there's another little town up closer to Alexander. What is that?
Yeah, you have Marksville.
Marksville.
Yeah.
After you passed Marksville, you had a lot of French-speaking people.
Right.
Now, I can remember something, and I just wonder if you've heard of it or not. There's so much difference in our age, but I remember when you got past Marksville and all that, everybody was in buggies.
That was way before my time.
That's way before.
I do remember 8-track cassette tapes. But I didn't travel by buggy.
But did you ever hear of any of them talking about buggies? A lot of buggies.
Not much, not much. My dad's mom, that side of the family would have, of course, been alive during that time, but we didn't really sit down and talk about the past in that sense. She worked on a plantation for a while there at Oak Island Plantation, and so they grew up poor, and so I don't even know if they could have afforded a buggy.
Well, you know what I remember about that is they were not, if we may not have had a car, you know.
Right.
Sometimes we did, sometimes we didn't. Couldn't afford to keep it going. And we'd have wagons and old Jersey wagons, that's pulled by one horse.
Yeah.
And all of that. But these people down there, they had nice buggies. And they had a black canvas over them, and they had the small wheels, and they were fast.
Yeah.
They were fast. But you knew you were in the French country when
you started seeing those buggies.
Started seeing those buggies. And did you know that in my day, there was a lot of black folks that spoke French.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't. I don't think they spoke English at all.
Yeah.
Some of them.
That would have been before my time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's changed, hasn't it?
Oh yeah.
But it was quite a time. What was that? Is that LeBeau? That's got that old store.
It could be. I know where LeBeau is, but I haven't. That was a bit further north than where.
You know, I'm gonna have to take you down to the French country and educate you.
Show me some things.
Well, the things that I remember is probably most of it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, well, I enjoyed being in your church so much.
Well, it was a privilege for us.
Well, thank you. You got some of the kindest, sweetest people.
Yeah.
Here.
Absolutely.
And that lady that come in on crutches, she told me, she said after she was prayed for, she said it was the first time I've been able to put my foot on the ground, on the floor. And so she's just liable, as you say, she's liable to wake up.
I believe in the morning when she wakes up, she'll wake up walking on.
Yeah,
I know her faith has increased. She's a prayer warrior. She's here a lot of times at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning praying, and I believe God's going to do a work.
Now, how long have you been pastor here?
Almost 2 years. January 1st will be 2 years for us.
You know, I want to tell you folks, this man was very popular on the evangelistic field. That's when you go around the country preaching and carrying your stuff in clothes and suitcases.
That's right.
But anyway, he was very popular as an evangelist. And one of your calling cards was the fact that you knew how to touch God, and you was very sensitive to the Spirit.
Yes, sir. Well, when you don't preach too well, you got to be sensitive to the Spirit.
No. You know, I told somebody today, and they looked at me twice. I said, I could be tried for preaching and found not guilty.
Well, you was preaching tonight. You'd be guilty.
Well,
and this morning.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Your family, tell me a little about what your family, you got, how many are in your family?
So I have 3 brothers, and of course we was all raised in church, and we're spread out now. One lives in Midland, Texas, working in the oil field. One there in New Iberia, and then I have another brother. He bounces between Jennings, Louisiana, and New Iberia.
Yeah.
And of course my mom and dad are here with us in Mississippi, and man, they've gotten in here and just hit it running.
Doing good.
Big help to the church. And,
I'm sure that.
Yeah, and of course.
Now, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Lyles, A.L. Lyles?
You know, he crosses my path every once in a while.
He's your father-in-law.
He is. He's my father-in-law, and we went to church there in Guillotte when I was 16 years old, and so he was my pastor from time I was 16 up until probably 2017 or 2016, I guess. And so many years, the more formidable years of my life, he was my pastor, and of course we loved them like our own mother and father.
Now he loves bluegrass.
He does. If you're with him for just a little while, you'll find out very quickly.
And he's going to break out the guitar.
He will.
And stuff and stuff.
He will.
Say, now who was some of the kind of famous guys he knows?
He taught the Louvin brothers and
the
all
Louvin
those
brothers.
guys. More the older traditional bluegrass.
Can you remember another one of those? Was it the Stanley Brothers or who was it?
My wife could spit them out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I listen to more gospel music.
Yeah. Well,
they sang gospel too.
Now don't put him in a straitjacket. Don't put him in a straitjacket.
Well, anybody that knows him knows he likes bluegrass. But yeah, he was actually friends with some of the more popular guys of his day. There was and my memory fails me.
That's
but
right.
He can rattle them off.
Yeah. Well, now he has just a kind of a different way of when he sings, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I love Brother and Sister Lyles. They're just good people.
They are.
Got a church, nice church there in
New Iberia.
New Iberia.
Yes.
Yes. And I spoke in their church one night, you know. Well, what you gonna tell us off your cuff? You got anything on your mind, heart?
Well, one thing I'll say is for us, looking back at where we've been and where we are, a lot of bumps in the road, a lot of tailwind pushing us along as well, you know, to get us to where we are with by the mercy and grace of God. And you know, prophecies come, and sometimes you look back and you wonder if they'll ever be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And if I had one thing to tell young ministers or just saints, I preach it to our people. You know, revival's been promised here for 40 years, and there's been ups and downs, and we're seeing growth right now. We've, seen an increase. We've had backsliders come home. We've had new people off the street get the Holy Ghost, and families being established. Don't lose sight of the prophecy. Don't bind it by time. If God said it, it's coming. And it doesn't matter what our current circumstances are, they don't dictate the fulfillment of the prophecy.
And that don't mean super crowds all the time.
No, but family here and a family there.
That's right.
Yep.
Sometimes it may come like that, but we've got the promise.
Well, and I say this, we often say that He'll never put any more on us than what we can bear, and we use that in a situation of problems and trials.
Yeah.
But I also think that goes along with blessings as well. Revival. He's not going to put any more than we can bear. And as the church can handle growth, He'll give growth. And so our job as pastors, as ministers, is to disciple the people we have, get them ready for the next crop. And that's what we're trying to do here with the help of God.
Yeah. Well, that is so super. I am so glad to be with you. And you folks can see how solid this man is. And I know a lot of you know him out there, but I also have some listeners that will not know him. And I just wanted for you to meet him. And so thank you a lot.
Yes, sir. We appreciate
you for coming.
Appreciate
God bless you.
Love you.
God bless you.